What am I supposed to say?
I don't know. Say we're going to check out Cosmic Colonies, and I didn't like it.
Hey everybody, my name's Jabs, and today on Thoughts from the Corner, we're going to check out Cosmic Colonies. There, I did a thing.
What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Hi there, YouTube. Remember me? Probably not.
We're back again for another Thoughts from the Corner. I'm here at my good friend Brandon's house, and we just got done playing Cosmic Colonies from Flood Games.
That's not true. We just got done playing Space Base.
Well, before that, we played Cosmic Colonies, which is for 1 to 5 players, 30 to 45 minutes for ages 13 plus. And this is a really interesting Tetris-y style game where you're going to have your own chunk of outer space. So you're going to be covering it with these different Tetris-y style pieces, and there's 5 different ones. But the real core of the game is the fact that you're going to start off with 4 cards in the game, and then you're going to use 2 of those cards, and they'll have various different special abilities that, in one way, shape, or form, are either going to give you resources, which you can then turn into buildings, or they're going to allow you to build buildings. There's a couple other special abilities around here, but mostly it feels kind of like a roll and write game almost, in the aspect that you're filling in your little board and you're trying to, a lot of the ones will have like, oh, cover up all the bombs to score points. But Cosmic Colonies, we gave you the proof thing. You want to see a video on how to play it, go watch somewhere else. But what were your thoughts on the game? And this is both of our first impressions.
This is first impressions we have. Your first play, correct?
Yes, and we did play the advanced version of the game. We watched the Dan King Skip the Rules video as well.
Is that his name, Dan King?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Game Boy
Game Boy Geek.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So, Tetris-y pieces is polyomino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fancy. Play that one in Scrabble. So you kind of missed, like, with the cards, those are classified as workers. They've all got numbers on them from 1 to 20. Mm-hmm. The earlier you play, or let's say you get a 1, you're going to go before a 2. So the cards scale and what they can do based on numerical value. I thought that was pretty interesting. To his point, I guess it was kind of a little bit like a roll and write. You get the polyomino piece, you put it on your board, you're trying to cover up various space things to get more points. Whatever is still showing at the end is basically how you're going to score. I thought it was interesting, but it didn't wow me. Is kind of my overall opinion of it in general. It was kind of just like, oh, do thing, yay, hooray, whatever, next. I liked the resource restrictions where things were going away and you weren't able to get, so you could get boned by playing your second card. If you wanted to collect on at the end, you wouldn't be able to because stuff was gone, or buildings would go away that you really wanted, or things like that. I thought that was kind of interesting. The secret hidden objectives, so you get points for building a square, or points for building a T, or whatever it might be. I thought that was kind of okay, but nothing earth-shattering here. I would classify it as mediocre at best. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hot take.
Now, do you
That's
like
one play.
Now, do you like games of this ilk? The placing things down the tiles and trying to fit them in there?
Yeah. We were talking a little bit about My City, which is a relatively recent Rainer Knizia joint. And I think My City does the polyomino placement better. There's more interesting decisions. There's more stuff that is cool. I don't think this has a whole lot of replayability, in my opinion. It has a lot of variability, but not a whole lot of replayability, if that makes sense.
Okay. Now that one I'm going to hold off on. I think make an impression, just because So what I liked about this game was the potential of this game. And I liked it more than the other 2 people playing the game.
True.
I thought it was very good. I enjoyed when I played. I'm excited to play it solo. And I'm not typically, I don't know, this wouldn't typically do it to me, but I really enjoyed the different cards and how the different cards synergize, and I would highly recommend playing this in the advanced version of the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother playing basic. Why?
And I would agree. I don't think I would enjoy this game nearly as much.
Although for entry-level gamers, for gamers who don't really do a whole lot, it would probably be simpler. Hey,
yes, I agree.
So the difference between the advanced and the basic is the basic, you have one type of worker, they do one thing. The advanced is you get the top of the card in one placement or phase, and then you get the bottom and top of the card in the second phase. it wasn't all that convoluted.
Now, you did the setup on that aspect. I have a question. So they have beginner cards and advanced cards?
Correct.
See, and I don't like that. I really wish they would have just went full into the advanced cards and just gave you, say, 40 advanced cards and say, oh, if you're playing the beginner version, just ignore the bottom.
Yeah.
I would have loved that so... No, I don't know if that would have worked feasibly, but I just... Because that's one thing that I think might change your mind if there was, instead of being... Because there was 8 cards we didn't use.
There were 8 cards that we didn't use.
And the cards are big. The cards have very different, distinct abilities. And what I really liked about it, I thought they were interesting because some of them, they would just sit and clog in your hand. You'd be like, I hate this card, but you want to play it to get rid of it and just finding the right time when to play those. Because I thought I was doing really well. I was really banging out those nighttime phases. But you ended up just crushing for...
Rushed.
Yeah.
One.
You know, but now that I look at it, now that I really think about what you said, what did you do to crush it?
What did I do to I didn't crush. I mean, I won, but...
But what did you do to win? Like, I'm trying... Because one thing... We have space on the table, and this is what gets me thinking about it. Okay. Space, every time I go into it, I'm like, oh, what's my new, crazy, different strategy that I'm going to approach? In this, it's like, I don't... Like, you have the 4 cards, but there's no crazy strategy you can approach because I'm just passing... Because you pass the 2 cards to the person to your left, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
But,
because you know what's coming.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, to me, I don't know what I did to win. Honestly, I guess I managed my resources and cards better. Honestly, that's it. Like, I just managed stuff better. But really, so there's a rule where if you play all of the different shapes, if you play all 5 different shapes, you get an extra 15-point bonus. That is the only thing that did it for me.
And I lost that on the last turn. I could have had it, but I was missing 1 resource. Yeah.
Harsh criticism of the scoreboard. They give you tokens that are too big for the scoreboard.
And the scoreboard itself, I didn't like how it was like.
It's weird. The scoreboard's it's not great.
But then again, that's a very subjective thing. Some people hate one type and some people like the other type. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it either.
People usually in reviews talk about art in games, and I find that interesting because really, ultimately, who cares? But the art's not that great. It's just kind of eh.
One thing that disappointed me really about the game itself, and I feel like we're totally nitpicking here, was when we watched the Dan King video. And I'm not criticizing Dan King.
No, video. He did great. He did great.
I don't like the smooth jazz in the background. That's my ADHD. But his prototype was much brighter. And
colors were better.
The colors popped. And it's not just that the colors popped, like, oh, it looks better, but it was actually more functional. Like, when I was looking at I had to squint to really see. And on some of the cards, like, it was just dark. There was darkness on some of the things that I didn't like. And it seemed like a pretty easy fix.
So this came out this year, right?
Yeah.
This was a Kickstarter. I was going to look it up on BGG. You guys can look it up on BGG. It is Scott Alms. Scott Alms has done some of the Tiny Epics.
Yes.
If I remember correctly.
Pretty much all of them, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he does most of them.
And that's the other thing. We actually looked up the score of this. It was sitting around a 7.5. And I think that's, actually the more I talk to you, I'm souring a little bit more.
Isn't that amazing?
But here's the thing.
That's good, though.
I really enjoyed it when I played it, but I think you're right. I think repeated playthroughs of this could get
stale quickly.
But I do think an expansion could spice this up because I like the bones
different boards, different workers, different
cards, different special abilities, maybe a different win condition.
Maybe different, like more resources or something.
Asymmetrical planets. I mean, who knows? Maybe you could start digging underneath. I don't. There's a million possibilities.
Stuff you could do.
But I think it's got the potential. I enjoyed the game. I'm going to keep it for the time being. I might actually try and play it with my 7-year-old because if that goes over well, or if I really enjoy it as a solo game.
I think this is not too complicated for a 7-year-old.
For the basic thing.
Well, hey, I'm popular.
But
anyway, gotta go.
That is Cosmic Colonies from Floodgate Games with professionalism you expect from Bowers Game Corner. If you enjoyed this review, please try to click on that subscribe button down below. And in the comments below, let me know what was the last game that you played that kind of you soured on the more you thought about it. For me, it's obviously Cosmic Colonies right now, but in hindsight, I went back and replayed Munchkin like a couple weeks ago, and it's just, I had so many expansions, I reviewed so many of them that it's like, I want to still love it, and it didn't do it. Now, it was a 3-player game, but I got no desire to revisit that game. But let me know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.